club in Westchester County, New York, cost $300,000 when the actual initiation fee was $200,000 at the time he bragged on CNBC about his new Trump International Hotel and Tower in Las Vegas, claiming we have 1,282 units and they sold out in less than a week. As Mr. Trump knew, more than 300 units had not been sold. Confronted in a court case about this last untruth, Mr. Trump was anything but chagrined. He said, I'm talking to a television station. We do want to put the best spin on the property. Yes, I'm reading from David Barstow's July article in the New York Times. Donald Trump's deals rely on being creative with the truth. That's very interesting. Well, I'm talking on television. I don't have to tell the truth, which is what he's doing now in this presidential campaign. He's speaking on television.
The paragraph that lawyers and journalists go back to over and over again from his book, The Art of the Deal, is a paragraph where he talked about his admiration for the concept of truthful hyperbole.
Truthful hyperbole.
And it's this idea that the way he sees it, there's nothing wrong with. First of all, truthful hyperbole makes no sense at all, right? And he just sees it as entirely legitimate to exaggerate, to say things that aren't true, to play to people's desires, their fantasies. And I think
he's a master salesman. It's a mixture of Donald is a master salesman. You gotta give him credit for some things in this world. One is he knows how to sell, and sell you something that may be worthless, but persuade you it's gold. And secondly, that's what con artists do. The thing about Donald, I once fed him false information. His answers embraced my falsehoods to demonstrate he didn't know what he was talking about, but he put them into his answers, and he's done things like this in interviews with other people. So there's a mix here of, the con and the sales job. And if it benefits Donald, what are you worried about these fine detailed facts for unless he's under oath?
When you know what the facts are, and you know that he knows what the facts are, then you watch him kind of mush all that together and throw in a bunch of, nonsense. It's a stunning talent. I mean, it's that, all politicians, right, are bending the truth and are hedging here and there. But there's something about him, I think it's one of his most remarkable abilities, is this, there's this, and you see it actually even when he's under oath and when he's being deposed, this incredible ability to weave fact and fiction together and make it sound like, it's this seamless reality.
That's right. I say Donald creates his own reality. That's the most. If you want to understand Donald Trump, if he says it's true, he's thinking it's true at the moment, not because it is, but because it'll get what he wants out of you. Donald creates his own reality.
It's one reason why, even though fact checkers, point out over and over and over again, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. That's wrong. He did support the Iraq War. It doesn't matter in his kind of conception of the world, because he does create this reality, right?
Fusion writes, who pays more in taxes than Trump? Undocumented immigrants, retired veterans, single people making $15,000 a year.
Somebody sent me an email last night saying that the Clinton campaign should make up signs and just pass them out to at their rallies. It says, I pay more taxes than Donald Trump. And a lot of people probably could hold up those signs.
Do you feel that there is a threat to freedom of the press now more than you've seen in many, many years?
I think that Mr. Trump, especially given the positions he's staked out over the course of this campaign and his whole lifetime, would represent a really significant threat to the tradition of an independent free press in the United States. I think the way he reacted to this story is particularly chilling to me as a journalist. I just have never seen someone take the kind of position that he took.
Amy, we've had a well-financed 40-year campaign to discredit the press. There are these bumper stickers in America, don't trust the liberal press. No, trust the news organizations that just make it up. And I think Donald Trump represents a clear and present danger to the liberties of the people, to the idea of the First Amendment. By his own words, he's made it very clear, if he were laws. He could suppress any speech that he doesn't agree with, if he sees it's damaging to what he's doing. And he would have not just his finger on the button, but he would have the full powers of federal law enforcement. I also think that would provoke a constitutional crisis. I certainly hope it would provoke a constitutional crisis. But this is a real serious problem that Trump is exploiting.
He would clearly do all he could to weaken our defenses against libel lawsuits. He's brought 5 libel lawsuits himself. He sued the architecture critic for the Chicago Tribune for
Because he didn't like his opinion.
He didn't like his opinion.
And opinions are totally protected.
So, I mean, those are the kinds of, those are the kinds of judgments that make you really wonder, what does he understand about our tradition of free press?
We have to leave it there. I want to thank you both for being with us. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist David Barstow, who led the New York Times team that published the explosive report on Donald Trump's tax returns, and David K. Johnston, author of The Making of Donald Trump. That does it for our broadcast. We'll be broadcasting tonight the vice presidential debate. Check democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman.
You are listening to KCPD Astoria, Warrington, 90.9, your local station for classical music and news. If you're enjoying our programming, consider becoming a member. Visit coastradio.org for more information.
You can stream KCPD live on your computer by visiting coastradio.org. To listen on your mobile device, use the TuneIn app and enter the KCPD.
Coming up after the news, it's this month's edition of BBC World Book Club with me, Harriet Gilbert. We'll be talking with the acclaimed Irish author Anne Enright about her unsettling Booker Prize-winning novel, The Gathering. In it, Veronica, one of the 9 surviving Hegarty siblings, is bringing her brother Liam home to Dublin to bury. He walked to his death in the sea at Brighton, his brain muddled by drink, his pockets filled with stones. As the Hegarty clan gathers to mourn at Liam's funeral, Veronica retraces his troubled history and the murky family secrets that have festered over the years, bringing tragedy in their wake. A novel about love, death, memory and forgetting, The Gathering has won admirers all over the globe. That's World Book Club with Anne Enright answering readers' questions in the studio and from around the world on The Gathering after the news.
Hello, I'm Debbie Russ with the BBC News. Hurricane Matthew has pummeled Haiti with winds of more than 220 kilometres per hour, wrecking crops and homes along the southern coast of the impoverished country. Nick Bryant reports.
Haitian officials still don't know how many people were killed when Hurricane Matthew struck its shores because communications with the worst-hit communities remain cut off. Roads made impassable by floodwater and the collapse of a key bridge that links the capital with the country's southernmost peninsula are also hampering efforts at bringing relief. A convoy of UNICEF trucks is loaded and ready to go, but it simply can't get through. With at least 10,000 people in shelters and an estimated